When I got taller, the bigger ramps seemed way more comfortable to me.
Yeah, I bet. And some of those ramps are insane, dude. Like, tell me what's next in the sport, because, you know, I watched the dunk contest, not to go right back to basketball, but sometimes I'm like, what more can these guys do? You know, like how much more creative can people be? And is there like an inflation factor to the currency of doing a really great trick? You know, like people are like, I've seen that a bunch. It's still just as amazing, but like once people catch up and replicate, you know, I kind of wonder what's next, because I've noticed young sport, right, relative to all these other sports, but there's been a lot of ebbs and flows. Like you go from parks to you know, street skating to, you know, verts or whatever. Yeah. I don't want to butcher the lingo, man. I don't want to be a fucking poser here. But
no, you got it. You're in the pocket.
I might go. This is good. My 6-year-old wants to skate. And I didn't sound like a goober with Tony Hawk. But like, what's next, dude?
It keeps progressing. It keeps evolving. I can't say what's next, but I can tell you that the tricks that people were dreaming about or only doing once for a video 20 years ago are now the normal.
Yeah.
And that the kind of thing that is what you get for a baseline for your tricks if you're trying to make a career out of it. So, or for instance, like I did the 900 in 1999. Since then, Mitchie Brusco just a couple of years ago did a 1260. He went a full 360 beyond what I did, because he had a bigger ramp, he had more airtime, he has spatial awareness, he was a gymnast. And that, you know, sure, it's 20 years for a full 360, but it is still evolving. And the tricks that you see, especially like the street stuff, is so highly technical, and it's just a combo of all these existing tricks that we really only ever were able to do in video games before.
Did you ever have to like kind of chill out with the street stuff? You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cause that seems like a little bit different game, you know, like they both seem dangerous as hell to me, but you know.
And also just, well, I learned how to skate in pools, because in my day, especially in the late 70s, early 80s, you either skated pools, which were the Dogtown Z-Boys crew, which was the cool crew, or you did freestyle, which was like ice skating or dancing or, you know, doing pirouettes.
Right.
I didn't want to dance. I wanted to do the cool stuff. Yeah. And so I wanted to skate pool. I wanted to fly. Right. So there was no street skating in the way that people think of it now. And then as street skating started to evolve, my style was kind of rooted in transition skating and ramp skating. And so when I would go do stuff, it just looked clunky.
Yeah.
And I remember coming home from a tour. This is probably around like 1994, 96, maybe. And I had rolled one ankle right at the beginning of the tour. I was skating with an ankle, rolled one ankle street skating. Mm-hmm. And then I was wearing an ankle brace on that. Then on the last week of the tour, I was doing a little trick on the street, rolled the other ankle worse, came home. we're driving. We had a van for our tour. So I'm driving home from St. Louis with 1 foot up, driving with ice on it. And just thinking like this, I can't do this. Yeah, like if I want to keep skating, street skating is, and the other thing is I'm not moving the needle with any of the stuff I'm doing. I wasn't doing the bigger, more technical stuff. I was just trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And then that was really the moment when I was driving home from that tour that I said, if I'm going to keep skating, I gotta stay in my comfort zone. I gotta keep skating ramps, because that's the only way I'm going to have any longevity.
In your whole career, what's the weirdest place you were asked to go skate?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, I got to skate in one of those zero gravity planes.
No.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. You can look it up online.
It felt like there was no gravity, awesome. I would imagine, but tell me more.
I did. The coolest part, it wasn't zero gravity. The coolest part was like the third gravity.
Uh-huh.
Because you could ollie and your board's floating up. You can grab it either way. You can flip it a bunch of times. That was probably the biggest eye opener.
Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.